Alright, YouTube. Guess what? Some RGB lights are working again. Particularly one of them. In fact, it involves just changing the batteries in one of the remotes, and it turns out I just discovered I was using the wrong remote, and that's why it wasn't changing colors, so we brought the white one back out. Now, before I even show the rest to y'all, we're going to present it just like we would present haggis at a Scottish burn supper. Now, today's presentation is going to be different. It is involving bagpipes, but I am using a keyboard for the bagpipes. Although I could pull out the small pipes for the chanter, I kind of want to, add something, change it up a little bit. So this is an RGB video, but it also relates to bagpipes. So here we go. Time for bagpipes. And we're going to present the RGB light that is now being functioned again. That will now be functioning again, and will now be able to change colors. Here we go. And look at that, everyone. It's the sunset lamp. It is now functioning again. So the reason why I was moving the camera very slowly is because I wanted to wait for y'all to see the light until the bagpipes were finished playing. That's why I moved it very slowly. That way y'all could wait and anticipate the incoming light until the bagpipes were completely finished playing. Now, that was my keyboard producing the sound of the Great Highland bagpipes. I've actually made that sound because I still remember when I was playing the Great Highland bagpipes, and I'll be making videos of that. I still remember those pipes. I eventually want to get my own set of Highland pipes, but I definitely enjoy playing the small pipes. Anyways, here's the sunset lamp. It is now working again. It is working. I actually have it set up in a way to where when I'm sitting down on the bench, the piano bench, I can actually just have the light actually shining down on me. I could also aim it upward to do the sunset effect, but I kind of want to use it more in the studio essence. But here it is. We have red. We have green, there's blue, there's yellow, almost. I just fixed this remote, so it's going to take me a little bit to... It's all working though, but... Right there's yellow. There it is. You have to aim it just right. Red, green, blue, yellow, magenta, almost. Okay, there's another magenta up here. Oh. There's a magenta. Oh, here's something interesting. So, there is a color that kind of relates to cyan light, and the color is called Olo. Now, normally we cannot see this color because you have to use special lasers, but eventually you can actually perceive this color. If I aim a little bit into the bottom of the lamp, this is my larger lamp. So that'll just cause the little outer rim of the lamp to ding. Okay, there's magenta. Now, if you stare, this kind of, goes along with how your brain perceives cyan light and RGB color patterns. If you look at magenta and then you switch to cyan, you won't believe this, but you just might see Olo. Now, how does this relate to RGB? Well, Olo is a color. It involves green and blue. It's very saturated, though. But interesting thing about it, it involves stimulating your medium wavelength green cone cells, which are responsible for wavelengths like green. Now, if you look at magenta for a long time, just making sure that the lamp can easily pick this color up. Now, if you switch to cyan, you just might see Olo. Maybe if I aim it up here, aim it closer to the lamp, and then try it again. There's magenta. Now, if we just look at that color, and then switch, you just might see Olo. Let's try it again. Aim it right there on the light. Then we switch it to cyan. Or one of the cyan colors. There it goes. You should be able to make out Olo. I'm using the upper part of cyan, the second button up, the fourth button down. If you go from these top buttons, the fourth button down on green, that's what I'm using for Olo. I could actually demonstrate. I'll have to demonstrate this with the pin spotlight too, because the pin spot does make a really good cyan color. I'm going to set this back to blue. So if you actually see the color Olo, you should be able to perceive a bright, vibrant cyan teal color. That is exactly what Olo is. It is a bright teal color. Now, even though we can't really perceive it because you really need lasers to see this color, as discovered by scientists in California, which is actually the state where I live. It's interesting that people here in California had actually discovered a variant of cyan known as Olo, even though we can't perceive it. You might be able to perceive it if you trick yourself by using magenta to see this Olo color. I'll have to do one at night when it's a lot darker. That way we can actually see and perceive the Olo color using magenta and cyan. Alright, there we go. There's an RGB video for you guys. Yes, it still involves bagpipes and all that stuff. There will be more bagpipe videos coming soon. If you like what you see here, please subscribe to the channel for more videos to come soon. Thanks for watching, and more to come later.